to speak on behalf of Care for Calais, and I'm here kind of with my union as well, and we've done quite a lot of work over refugee issues. So I'm going to talk about Care for Calais, but also, as Tracy said, some of the things that as trade unions we could and should be doing to stand up for and alongside our brothers and sisters who are fleeing persecution. And I want to first of all say about kind of who Care for Calais are, for people who don't know. We're a charity that started off working across northern France in Calais and Dunkirk, providing aid, providing support to people having fled from torture, from war, from dictatorships, people arriving in Calais wanting to make that journey across the Channel to the UK, which is shame on our government, quite frankly, that we leave people languishing in Calais and don't provide safe and legal routes like we have done for refugees fleeing a war in Ukraine or fleeing Hong Kong. When the government talks about not being able to take numbers, we've managed to take numbers from tens of thousands of refugees from Ukraine, from Hong Kong, and we say that our government should be opening that to all refugees, not just refugees from those countries. So we started off working across Calais and Dunkirk, providing vital aid and support, things that just kept people alive. But I think most importantly, or one of the most important things that Care for Calais does, is it treats people living in those refugee camps with dignity. And it goes out, it takes vital aid, it takes food, it takes clothing, it takes medical teams, but then it talks to people, it provides them with haircuts, it takes games to go and play. We do tea, coffee services, talking to people, respecting people's human rights and treating people with dignity. And for people who are living what they feel on the fringes of society and completely forgotten as a people, that really, really makes a difference. And so everything that we do as a charity is about treating people with dignity, treating people with respect and valuing their human rights. And one of the reasons, we took the action against the government about Rwanda is that is a fundamental breach of people's human rights to come and claim asylum in the UK, but people cannot access their human right to asylum in the UK when there's no safe and legal route for them to be able to do so. And I'm really sorry, Tracy, I forgot to start timing, so if you just tell me, I don't want to abuse and take too much time for people. So Care for Calais are a charity, as I said, working across northern France, but since the pandemic, when refugees were being housed in hotels, our UK work has taken off exponentially over the last 2 or 3 years. And in every city in Birmingham, there will be a Care for Calais group working in hotels with refugees, again, providing them with support, providing them with legal support, because we know that the hostile environment doesn't just exist in France, in Calais, but we know when refugees make it here and claim their legal human right to asylum, they are faced with so many barriers. And so Care for Calais are really working hard in the UK now to overcome some of those barriers, to provide refugees with access to legal support and supporting them in the UK as well. So I'd really encourage all of you, if you're not already involved in a local Care for Calais group, to kind of go on the website, email in. There's groups in Birmingham working with refugees in hotels, providing English language support classes, providing legal support. So if you're not already involved, I'd really encourage you to. So that's what we're doing as a charity, and they're the things that we do. And as Tracy said, we've recently been involved in legal action against the government around the Rwanda case. And last Tuesday there were 7 people on a plane being prepared to be flown to Rwanda, having their hands and feet shackled, being dragged on the plane by their hair. People are talking about it being a dead cat, that the government are providing a distraction. That may be true, but how disgusting to pick on the most vulnerable people in society, the people who have come to our shores seeking sanctuary, people who have already faced the worst torture, the worst discrimination. How disgusting to drag those people onto a plane forcibly against their will when they have come to the UK thinking that we're a fair country. We've gone around the world previously telling people what a great place Britain is, colonising countries, spreading the British Empire. We've gone around telling people what a great place the UK is. When people come here seeking sanctuary, they're dragged onto a plane. As soon as they arrived in Dover, people were taken straight to a detention centre, given no access to a lawyer. We've worked really hard as Care for Calais to find people, to get access to people, to give people the legal support that they're entitled to. So we fundamentally did that because it was the right thing to do, because we had to stop the government. But I don't think we can't rely on the courts to protect those people, and we can't rely on the courts. We need to really be building a movement that can stand up for refugees and put pressure on our governments to change their minds over this racist policy, because this is a racist policy. We know when the government says it's about numbers, we can't take in too many refugees. It's not about numbers, because they've let in Ukrainians, they've let in people from Hong Kong, and they've provided safe and legal routes for those. If they provide safe and legal routes for those people, they can provide safe and legal routes for everyone. It's not about people being illegal. 80% of people who arrive over the channel are proved they have their asylum claims recognised. So indiscriminately taking people from Dover when they arrive on the shore to a detention centre to be sent to Calais, they have no idea whether those people are genuine asylum seekers or not. So this is not about stopping genuine asylum seekers. It's not about clamping down on people smuggling rings, like Boris Johnson would say, because if they wanted to do that, they could very easily bring over people safely. So we just don't believe the government's lies when they tell us about the Rwanda policy. We have to be uniting and fighting that policy. We have to be working for our trade unions. There'll be people in trade unions, you know, and I know the PCS have done amazing work, and I know PCS members have pushed back on that. We've already pushed back, and we stopped pushbacks happening in the channel. The government wanted to take boats out in the channel and push people back when they tried to arrive on our shores. We managed to stop that. We challenged it in the courts and we won it. But we need more people talking about it. We need more people building for it in our trade unions. And together, I really, really believe that we can win, because this government are disgusting, they're racist, and we need to be pushing back on it, talking about it as much as possible. Thank you.